What's up guys, it's Kamahley here, and today I'm going to be showing you guys how to improve your mechanics in Fortnite. And if you're new here, it'll really help me out if you guys drop a like and drop a sub. Also, to support me, use creator code Kamahley in the item shop. And without further ado, let's get in the video. What's up guys? As you know, among game sense, mechanics is one of the most important factors in Fortnite. It could be the reason between you missing an edit and dying, or you hitting the edit and winning the whole game. That's why I'm going to be talking about different tips from pro players and what helped me improve my mechanic skills and show you guys how you can become a mechanically skilled player. So the first tip I'm going to be talking about is definitely going to be your sensitivity. Now, if you guys haven't noticed, some of the most mechanically skilled players in the world, for example, Mr. Savage, Kanata, or Benjifishy, and is this a coincidence? No, it's not. They've been playing on their sense for a long time, so they got used to it pretty quickly. Even their aim is on point with a really high sense. Now, I am definitely not telling you to just go and switch your sense to some super high Mr. Savage, Benjifishy like sense, because obviously it's players like Mongrel that play on a lower sense that can do super crack stuff just like them. But most likely you guys aren't Mongrel and your hand isn't moving at the speed of light. Now, if you have a low sensitivity solely so you can get better aim, you definitely should try out high in your sense just a little bit, maybe like 1 or 2 each time, just to see how good it is when you switch your sense. And a good example of switching sense would be a pro player slash content creator named Arab. Arab is usually known for his insane game sense and how good he is at being an IGL. But recently he wanted to improve his mechanics, so he made his sense a little bit higher. Some people were trying to clown him on Twitter because he switched his sense when he is streaming, but now his mechanics is really starting to drastically improve. So this would be different for controller players or keyboard and mouse players, because for keyboard and mouse players, once they switch their one sense, then their sensitivity changes for their aim too. For controller players, you guys can switch between your building sense and your editing sense, so it doesn't matter that much when it comes to your guys' aim. So if you want to determine if you have a low sense, high sense, or medium sense, usually people would classify anything under 50 EDPI a lower sense, anything over 50 EDPI a medium sense, and anything above 90 DPI a higher sense. If you want to find your EDPI, all you have to do is multiply your DPI times your in-game sense. Right now, Fortnite uses percentages for your in-game sense, so you have to turn your in-game sense into a decimal by just moving the decimal point 2 places to the left. For example, my DPI is a 400 and my in-game sensitivity is a 13.9%. So usually what you have to do is you'd have to multiply 400 times 0.139. So guys, I'm not trying to say that you have to switch your sensitivity to become mechanically skilled, but if you think that's one of the reasons why you're being held back, you definitely should try it and don't be scared. So there are different types of pro players. Players with really high game sense like Zayt, Saf, Tfue, Bizzle, and you can usually find them in a lot of scrims. Then you have the really mechanically skilled pro players like Clicks, Booga, Mongrel, and obviously the list goes on. But the difference between these mechanically skilled players, you can always see them in creative practicing. For example, if you go on someone's like Click stream, you most likely see him do wagers than him doing scrims. I've noticed that a lot of the mechanically skilled gods were really good PG warriors. So my next tip to you guys is to always be in creative. Now obviously, why wouldn't you be in creative if you're trying to improve your mechanics? So it's what you do within creative that really helps you improve your mechanics. So the first step in creative I'm going to be talking about is free building. Now free building is definitely one of the best way to warm up and to improve your mechanics. Most pro players, before they boot up their stream, they're always doing some sort of free building. Now obviously I can tell you to go in creative and just start building stuff, but if you don't have really good mechanics and you don't know what you're doing, what do you even free build? A lot of people I've heard just say just go and free build and just free build anything, but honestly I don't know if that's the case. I think that the best way to actually improve your mechanics is to watch someone else free build slash do high ground retakes, or just do a lot of different free builds and try to mimic them into your own free building arsenal. Once you think you have a lot of different combos or different styles you can do, then you can go and free build by yourself everything that you know and just combo everything together. So now that every day you hop on the game, no matter what you go in your island and free building, you're essentially improving your mechanics. Especially if you're doing it consistently. For example, say if you at least free build like 30 minutes every day and you just keep doing the same routine, or even if you switch up the routines, you're always going to be improving your editing precision and your editing speed, as well as your building precision and your building speed. Also, what can drastically help it is PGing people who are better than you. Now, what this means is build fighting players who are above your skill level. The reason you want to do this is because every time you make a mistake against them, you know what it is that you need to fix. If you're playing against someone who is not better than you at all, every time you do a move in your mechanics arsenal, you're going to think that that move is okay. So when you go up against better players, you try it and absolutely get dog-eat on. Another way to improve in creative is by doing different types of editing courses. I have a lot of different videos where I show editing courses like Flea's editing dictionary, and as well as the one that I showed of doing a mongrel classic, which is where you take the opponent wall, place a ramp, and flip it. It's a lot of maps where you can consistently just keep on doing the moves over and over like this, and I'll put the link in the description. And now what I think is one of the best ways to improve your mechanics in creative, and that helped me improve my mechanics drastically, is definitely gonna be Zone Wars. Now the reason I'm bringing this up now is because in the past, every time you want to play Zone Wars, you'd have to join some type of Discord server or have a lot of friends come together, which is really hard. But now, right behind your creative map is a matchmaking for Zone Wars. Now the reason I think that Zone Wars is really one of the best ways to improve your mechanics is because you're working on so many factors. You're working on your tunneling skills, you're working on your aiming skills, and as well as just your in-game fighting while you're using your mechanics. Once you guys' mechanics really start improving, you should also be seeing an improvement in your piece control. Now I've even seen a lot of improvement in my piece control when it comes to Zone Wars. Now this is basically when you can block your opponent off or box him in just to where he has nowhere to go and you can easily get the fight over with quick. A really big tip for me when it comes to increasing your piece control is to do not forget about cones. I think cones is probably the most vital build in Fortnite. The reason being, you can use it for a lot of different stuff, especially blocking your opponent off. So when you guys see a big increase in your piece control, or even a big increase in you beating players that are better than you in PGs, then you're really gonna have so much more confidence and motivation to keep improving your mechanics, and the easier it's gonna be for you to become a better mechanically skilled player. So all in all guys, try to experiment with your sensitivity, make sure you're in creative for way more, watch pro players do different type of free builds and try to learn them yourself. Make sure you play a lot against players that are better than you, hop into some Zone Wars, and as well as to try to improve your piece control. If you do all of these tips correctly and consistently, the easier it is going to be for you to become a mechanically skilled player. So what are you waiting for? While you're still watching my video, go hop into creative right now and become a god. Thank you guys so much for watching, and if you enjoyed, it'll really help me out if you drop a like and drop a sub. Also, to support me, use credit code Kamahley in item shop. It's Kamahley, and I'm out.